Welcome to a Spit Bucket Wine 101 session where we have been given a little corner of the Ultimo Wine Centre in Sydney, which is one of the institutions of wine buying in the city. And I'm joined tonight by John. Thank you for spending a couple of minutes with us to talk about wine. What we really want to get across is a few tips about wine buying. So you come into a shop like this, not all shops have such an amazing range, but what's your best first port of call in a shop? Is it to go and speak to the owner or just have a look around? How do you categorise the wine? Where is the expensive wine? Where's the cheap wine? What would you suggest?
Well, there's two things. I guess you sort of look at the lie of the land, go in and have a little look around. You know, hopefully someone will ask you when you go to most shops, you know, can we help you? And you can say yes straight away if you're really confused, or if you just want to have a look around and just generally see the lie of the land. But I guess I think the key thing, I suppose, is your budget. Is the sort of thing that really determines what you're going to buy in some ways, and then whether you want to try something new or just stick to something that traditionally you've had. And we'd encourage you to try something new.
Would you say most people come in and want to try something new, or you get a lot of people who come in and just go for the same thing every time?
Well, I guess we're a little unusual that, given the wines that we stock, that we sort of take people out of the comfort zone a little bit, so they often don't see a label, a commercial label they might recognise, and so that initially they might be a little hesitant, but hopefully we steer them the right way and then they'll come back.
Yeah, great tip then. If you're coming to a shop which has got a selection as great as this one, definitely speak to the people behind the counter. They will be able to suggest things that you've never thought of, and that will be a really interesting bottle of wine when you get home. So another question people might wonder about is the value of wine. You have some very expensive wine in this shop, some bottles for $100, $200, $300, and then some wines which people are going to love for $20 or $30. Are those wines 10 times better?
No, I guess it's that thing. It's a branding thing in a way now, and we're seeing that more and more. So with Bordeaux, you see the first growth wines. I'm saying it's like the handbag phenomenon at Hermes, Louis Vuitton, or Gucci. Are those bags worth 20, 50, 100 times the cost of production? So there's going to be iconic labels that have throughout history, several hundred years, have established themselves as the brand leaders. And okay, you can accept that there's a premium for those brands if they're in high demand, they're great quality, and there's not huge production. You can understand that to a degree, but I do get a little bit fed up with it all. It's a bit of a game at the moment, and you can pick up to $50. You can really get high quality wine, I think.
Yeah, I think that's true. So there's another great tip. You don't have to break the bank. Definitely look for some great wines up to $50. Really, really interesting. Different wines from around the world.
I would just say break the bank if someone else is buying. That's always my advice. Yeah.
Of course, and when Spit Bucket Swig is buying, I will go for the most expensive bottle on the list for sure.
Yeah.
But also, quick question about aging wines. So you've got some wines in here that go back many, many years. Do you recommend that you buy wine when it's old from a shop like this, or do you buy it when it's young and keep it at home?
Well, yeah, hopefully, there's two ways of looking at it, depending on where you're living. When most people start out, we're younger, we don't have permanent address, perhaps, apartment, we don't have our own home, we don't have storage, and, it becomes an incredible messy task if you've got to keep moving. Up to your age of 30, you tend to move around a little bit more, and it's hard to have a permanent address. Maybe you can trust your father to look after all. And not sample, but in the family home, if that's available and if it's in the same city. So it's a lot of fun. People have a lot of fun going to vineyards and buying, but I always say, initially when you first start out, just be modest of what you buy, because your tastes do change. As the more you learn, your palate becomes a little bit more sophisticated, and you'll look at other styles of wines more. So, for endlessly having clients who've come back and trying to trade up what they've bought initially, the fifth visit in the Hunter Valley, they're having a great day and everything starts to taste wonderful, and you keep filling the boot of the car, and there's nothing wrong with the Hunter Valley. Some great wines up there, but I think you just take it easy with what you buy initially. And also the other option is the storage. The provenance of wine is all important with the age, so we tend to only buy back wine from clients that we've sold it to initially, and we know it's well, or we know where it's come from. That's the key thing. So auction, often people can fill in, buy some old wines at auction at the right price. Sometimes super cheap, but it's you're never quite sure unless they're specified as from a particular cellar, and those cellars tend to have a premium on them anyway. So there's two ways of doing it. Buy and enjoy, by all means. It's great fun to have a bottle that you've bought and see, you know, you've seen it through the period of time, looking at it over every few years and seeing how it's maturing. That is obviously great fun, and that's all part of the exercise in cellaring wine. But you know, not everyone has that opportunity, and then just to buy the odd older bottle, you know, from a good shop is
fantastic.
Is a way.
And so people can be confident that when they come in here and buy an older bottle, that you've really looked into where it's been stored, how the conditions.
Yeah, we always stand by the wines here, and you know, that's you know, we get cork taint and things like that, which are out of beyond anyone's control. But we very rarely have any problems with wines out of condition, and you can usually tell. Look at a bottle if it's been leaking or something like that. You know, that's a sign that, you know, be careful about buying that bottle.
Okay, well that's great. Thank you very much for those tips today, John. Hopefully there's plenty of ideas for you to use out there when you next go into a wine shop. If you are in Sydney, I definitely urge you to get down to Ultimo, because this is a bit of a mecca for wine buying, and come and say hello to John, who's one of the few people I've ever interviewed on Spitbucket who's as tall as me, and that's good enough reason anyway. But until next time, we will see you in the Wine 101 section of Spitbucket with another topic. Okay, cheers.